Good evening, everybody. Sorry if my volume is a little crappy. I've been working for the last couple minutes trying to get the Wi-Fi going. We're having thunderstorms out here. So, hold on, let me clear my camera. There we go. And thanks everybody who's watching. Shout out to Eddie who just texted me like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, I'm trying to get there. My printer wouldn't connect to my laptop, and it's like a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. But I am here because I want to talk about my favorite book. This is called God's Gift by Angela Freeman. So let me know who's all in here. And like I said, I'm still getting unpacked, but I made it safely here to Georgia. So I'm still getting unpacked, still getting organized. But I'm just taking it day by day. All has been well, and thank you to everybody who, hey, how are you? Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's been checking on me every day, calling, texting, even people who came through and helped me out. Yes, like I'm gonna talk about being feminine and embracing womanhood, tonight, and that also makes me be more transparent. One thing that I have trouble with is asking for help. I really do. Like I would just go through something and really go through it until it's done. It may damn near destroy me, or I'm like, damn, I'm really exhausted after this. But I have to become more vulnerable with asking for help. So I've been taking those baby steps. So shout out to my little sister back in Washington. The day I was like putting everything on a truck, her and her mother came through. She's sitting there on the floor, pregnant. Lanissa came over, helped me, get the last stuff packed up. Um, Coming out here, my mentor, my big sister Carolyn, she flew out to introduce me to her friends that are in the area. Shout out to Rose. Rose came out and helped me just lift something that was really heavy. Like I was sitting here like thinking, I'm gonna have to, pay for somebody to come out here and help me move something that was really heavy. Rose came out, she was divaed up, she had her fur on, had her heels on, her gold on, and helped me get it done. So just thank you to everybody, Eddie, who, checked on me just about every single day. I really appreciate that. Cause like I said, yeah, I've learned to be alone, but I'm not lonely. But it does become a lonely place when you isolate yourself like that. And that's one of the what is it, the 48 laws of power. Isolation. I think it's like isolation can be deadly or something like that. But you don't do isolation. That's one thing that I'm working on. Shout out to the 48 laws of power. But tonight I want to talk about this book. This book is called God's Gift by Angela Freeman. And I chose to talk about this book this month. This is, of course, what is it? Women's History Month. But because I was born a black woman, I'm going to die a black woman. I'm going to live my life as a black woman. I just make everything black about me because I love me. I love us. And I want to put my work in to, enhance my community and things like that. And I want to remove the stigma that when we do stuff that is for our culture, for our community, to our people. I just want to battle when it comes from outside, like, oh, you're being racist, oh, you're being this, to hell with all that. And speaking of, when you make something for your community, and yes, it benefits your community, but other people can benefit it as well. Just like yesterday when I saw the backlash about the plant-based feminine hygiene products called Honey Pot. I did not get a chance to go to Target tonight because I came straight here to work on some documents that I was needing my freaking printer for, but then also get my mind right to go live tonight and uphold that commitment because I really have to hold myself accountable. When I make a commitment, I got to follow through with it. But I did get a chance to go to Target, but I'm going to check it out tomorrow. If not, I'm going to place that order online and do a review, okay? But we have to invest in our own community. Like, as black people, it's all good when you give all your money and you pay to further the kingdom of God and all this other stuff, when you invest in everything else but your community, where you came from. And then other people come in and exploit our community. So nowhere else does this happen but to us. But no, it is not negative. It is not a taboo when you come and invest in your people and you participate in the advancement of your community. I mean, that's where you come from. If all hell breaks loose, that's where you go back to. So don't abandon your roots. And just shout out to everybody who's in here. I know I saw someone who just said they just purchased the book. I must buy it. Kenya from Cali, how are you? And Tracking Audrey, how are you doing? So yes, God's gift. I put a link in the description for this video, and if you go back, I purchased this book about in March of 2014. And like I said, tonight I'm gonna get super transparent. All right, I have my little list as always, so I don't forget stuff, because y'all know I can ramble on and on. But yeah, this book is called God's Gift: How to Be a Good Black Woman to a Strong Black Man. And if you have any offense with this title, you might want to go ahead and click off. But it's not telling you to be a doormat or nothing like that, and I'll get to that later. But when I purchased this, it was in March of 2014. And at that time, I had only been married for less than 6 months. It was about, what, like 3.5 months, 4 months into it. And this book changed my life, because before then, like, I had zero knowledge of self. I was just a brain dead zombie. I was still in the church. I was just faking the funk. I was doing what I thought was right. No direction, no guidance, just destined to fail. And once I picked up this book by Angela Freeman, she also has children's books as well. So at the same time I purchased this book, I purchased her children's book for my son and my bonus children at that time. So it was like once I found her book and found what she was about, I'm like, I need this in my family. So I went ahead and invested. And when I say I couldn't put this down, I was holding on to every word, because this is stuff that we were not taught coming up. We may have seen, some women in our community, do these things or mention these things, but as little girls, when we, get into a room and we hear the older women, our mothers, aunts, and her friends talking, they kick us out like, oh, this grown people talk you can't hear. But these are things that that a lot of us, we should have been shoulder to shoulder with our mothers, our aunts, learning these things, because it's simple things on being a woman. And what was it? It really encouraged me to know that I got to do better. It's like what I was doing when I looked at myself at 2014 and looked back at 2004. I really had nothing to show for it, so to say, as far as self-development and self-growth. I was just the same person, just doing the same stuff in a different decade. But since reading God's Gift and applying these principles to my life, even when I do my self-evaluations after 3 months, 6 months, a year, a couple years, I see the growth and the change in myself, and how that return on investment in myself is paying, through things that are happening around me as well as inside. Now, as I said, this says how to be a good black woman to a strong black man. Okay? It's not saying how to be wifey to a good nig. And I never said that word on my channel, but I get tired of hearing it on the radio. I really do. But I mean, I just really hate that. It's not saying how to be a good chick to bae. It's not doing any of that. How to be a good female to a good male. No, none of that. And I had a homeboy ask me a while back, what's the difference? Because I always say, don't call me a female. I am a woman. There's a difference between females and women, okay? Females, they sit down to pee. They have periods. They just do female stuff. But a woman, she is a nurturer. She is a teacher. She is a healer. She is a sister. She is, she takes her place as the mother of the world. She's sensitive. She's caring. She's loving. She's gentle. Things like that. So we had to talk about that. And I'm like, yeah. So when people on the slide call you a female, they just want to call you the B word without using the B word. So I despise when people call me a female. I am a woman. Okay. But yeah, this book, I'm going to start it off. It's by Angela Freeman. I know she was out of Detroit. She was active on social media for a while, but I haven't seen her recently. But her book here, like I said, it could be purchased on Amazon, because that's where I got mine. I think I bought some more to give them away, but I also want to have a giveaway. So I kind of think how I'm gonna do that. I think that'll be great, because in the feeling of giving, you know. And that's one thing that as a woman I had to look back and like I said, do those self-evaluations. And that is, you know, how I operate, because I was raised with, you know, lack. You know, I couldn't get the things that I wanted. We had a lack of food at times. Our circumstances was not that great, but other people, through their, you know, generosity, they donated and gave to us. So I take this quote by Muhammad Ali, peace be upon him, seriously. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room on earth. So I'm always giving and things like that. So yeah, like I may pack around a bunch of stuff and I turn around and give stuff away, but that's just me. I'm just a giver because so many people have gave to me, so I just try to give that back. But she starts out with um where are we at? She starts out talking about, wait a minute, this is a quote by Brother Omawale. His name is Ambassador O. And I'll put a video of his in the comments after I finish this up. But in her introduction, she states, this book was written out of sheer necessity. Until recently, I was constantly being asked for recommendations for books on improving Black family life. I would respond with an extensive list of generic books that gave useful tips, but lacked vital knowledge, but lacked vital information because they were not written for a Black audience. After receiving my long subpar list of self-help books, a friend made the suggestion that I should just write one good book to make it easy. And as much as I wanted to protest, I saw her point. And as she said, there are other books that are just written in general, but they're geared towards non-Black people. And the more, you know, I gained knowledge of self and who I was, who my people were, where I came from, it took away, you know, that feeling of being ashamed of, you know, our history and things like that, you know. And we're okay when we're, you know, doing other things, acting like other people. You know, what bothered me the most was coming up, we didn't read, you know, books like by Zora Neale Hurston. We didn't read, you know, different books by I got a box right there of books by Neely Fuller Jr. I got some of his books. But it's always when we take on the sorrows and have empathy for others but ourselves. So because, you know, some people may get mad, oh, she wrote this book about, you know, Black people, blah, blah, blah. She's absolutely right, because I have a couple other books that were written for non-Black people that pretty much is geared toward the advancement and the solidarity in making their family a united front. And I have two of them here. One is called Fascinating Womanhood, and it's by Helen Andelin. And when I first heard of this book, it was on an episode of Wife Swap. Let me know if you watch Wife Swap. And there was a woman, she read this book cover to cover. She worked from home. Her husband took care of the household. She had a beautiful home. Her job was just to, you know, upkeep the house. And let me let you know the demographics of this family. She was a white woman. Her husband was Black, and he had Black children. And, you know, he comes in the house. She greets him. She gets, you know, made up. She greets her husband. The house is clean. She has food cooked. You know, she didn't make demands of him. She didn't even drive. You know, she said if she needed to go get some at the store, she'll just walk. But they had one car, so they would not exhaust their income. And she even clipped his toenails. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, she has this book and she's using it for herself. Then I have this other book. I got this at the Goodwill. It's called Vitalogy. And this was printed in 1995. However, the original publication was in 1899. And it's called Vitalogy. And on page 47, it pretty much says the same thing that we say to our community, but it's just geared for our people in a language that we can understand and follow. And it says, it's on page 47, the man's relation to girls. The sex instinct may be a source of destruction or a great blessing. If it is abused, disease and suffering may result for the man and his wife and children. It says, The young man's relationship to girls. The young man should think of all girls as the future mothers of the race, and understand that one of their most important functions in life is to become mothers of healthy children who will make useful citizens. Listen to this, okay? A nation may well be judged by its attitude towards women. I'll say it again. A nation may well be judged by its attitude towards women. Sound familiar? A nation can rise no higher than its women. The youth who is fair will treat every girl he expects others to treat his own sister. So it's okay when others say it towards their community. They're supposed to speak to their people. Well, Angela Freeman, along with other of our scholars, authors, and those who are passionate about our community, say the same thing. It's just geared to us. So there's nothing racist behind it. So that's why I go toe to toe and go in on people when they do that. Now, God's gift is a manual on loving strong black men. And Angela Freeman states on page 19 that this philosophy of this book will not work on underdeveloped men. This is what was mentioned in the other book. So, like as I said, the book is not called how to be a good wifey to bae. It's not about that. It's about you taking your place as a good black woman and using this philosophy on a strong black man. Because once you work on yourself, and that's the thing I know, like I said, I wasn't even married 6 months when I started reading this and applying this to myself. It let me know that, that was not a good choice that I had made. And, I had to get out of that situation for, the continued improvement of myself, and it wouldn't lead to destruction. And that's what this book is about. Before I read God's Gift, I had read, I had bought, what was it? Steve Harvey's book. And then we all watched the movie, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. I'm not a man. I'm not. Even though I dressed up like the men, I went to work. I always wore, like I tell you all the time, I maintained that I was a policewoman. I was not a policeman. I'm a policewoman. And I don't want to stand up and pee. I don't want to do what the men do. I can't. I just embrace being a woman. But yeah, after reading this book, I threw Steve Harvey book away and I stopped watching it. But as I was saying, this book caused me to critically evaluate myself. No deflections. And this is when this happens to you, and I'm not saying you need to go force yourself to do it. It's going to happen when you're ready. Because at the time, I was wearing a weave. I was going to church, oh my gosh. Like I said, we're being transparent here. I knew that I was unhappy with my circumstances because I would come home, and I'm telling you, like, I would come home and I was just battling so many things. I was really unhappy with my situation. Like, what the hell did I get myself into? But yeah, you got to survive. I was just a lot of stuff going on. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. I had a little drinking problem. I really did. Like, I would come home, and as soon as I get in the house, I would just go take like 2 shots, go take a shower, and try to just deal with it. Like I said, we're being transparent, but I'm not proud of it, but I did it. I'm not gonna lie about it, but I did it. But that's when you see you're destroying yourself to exist in environments that you're not meant to be in, but also too, you're not living in your true element. And at that time, I was trying to be what was it, Ruth to my Boaz and shit like that. And it was all wrong. I was trying to be wifey to bae, but I was a real wife, but that was some effed up stuff. But what is being feminine? And being feminine is not being a feminist, okay? And we're going to talk about that for a second. Being feminine and being a feminist. As a black woman, and some people will disagree with me, they will. I don't see where I need to be a feminist to the black man. Yes, there are things of domestic violence that goes on. There are different things that happen with our community. We got to handle those on a case by case basis. But as a whole, I'm not going to just battle the black man just for shits and giggles and to fight somebody else's battle. I mean, hello, I gave birth to a black man. I don't want, someone to treat him that way. Plus, we all remember in school, the white female has a reason to be a feminist to the white male. Who remembers? I forgot the name. I could be wrong. It's like Henry VIII. This fool chopped off all his wives' heads. Hell yeah, I'll be a feminist if that was gonna happen to me. And impressionable males in my community was thinking about chopping off my damn head and stuff. Hell yeah, I'll feminist in a minute. But that's not my fight. That's not my battle. My men did not do that to me. Okay, so we have exceptions to the rule, but I'm not gonna blanket them all like that and destroy my community. And that's what Angela Freeman does with her book here. So, like she was saying, and she has a whole section on feminism, and it's really, and it's pretty much what I agreed with when she said, that's not our fight, like, and here we were school children, and we had to read that in our history books about, you know, white women to this king chopping off people's heads, chopping off women's heads. Hell yeah! And then look what occurred here in America. Sally Hemings getting raped by Thomas Jefferson and stuff like that. That's not my fight. If anything, the black man did not do that to me. Like I said, we have some bad seeds, some bad apples that we have to deal with appropriately. And I'm gonna take a break and say greetings to everybody that's in here. My sister Latifa, some chick named Star, I love you. I love seeing you here. Forever Kings want to say hello to my beautiful sisters. Well, hello to my handsome brothers. How y'all doing? And Papa 2020, that word makes me shake my head. What was that? Feminism. And so, as Angela Freeman goes on, she talks about self-refinement. And she like the solutions to our problem are holistic. And the philosophy of this book is easily applied if you honestly love yourself, love and respect the man you've chosen to be with. These things our mother should have taught us a long time ago, but it's never too late to learn. So I won't give away too much of the book. I'm gonna just like go off some notes that I made, and I hope that my sisters pick up this book. Brothers, you can buy this book too. Like Mother's Day is coming up, birthdays. Like I said, it's Black Women's History Month. So go ahead and pick up a copy, gift it, to the black women in your life, to your daughters, your sisters, and just give them this information. Like, yes, our mothers and our foremothers were not perfect, but as long as we identify those things and make sure that we use this opportunity to improve ourselves, then we look at our daughters and our nieces and our granddaughters that come up and they're around us. We're giving them great examples to follow through with or to look up to. Now, this word submission. I was been wanting to do a video on submission for a long time, but it was like, all this ish going on about it last year. Angela Freeman repeatedly states in this book, and other Black women in our community, such as Sister Shahrazad Ali, all said it. We're not beneath our men. We're 100% equal. And I didn't mean to stutter. We are 100% equal. Okay. There's no you're more than me, I'm beneath you, vice versa. It's equal. We both have our own strengths, and it's a balance. Okay. We can't, we can't have our children on our own. We need a portion of what he has. He needs what we have. We put them together. Boom. You have a 100% person right there. That's the best way that I can explain it. But we are equal in our rights and our value. When we start having problems, where it's not equal or discrimination because one thing is different, it's different, but it's the same and it has value, is equal. Okay. The foundation. And I like how she puts it in her book where it's if I can remember correctly, you know how people say, opposites attract. I don't believe in that, because you can have all these things, then you get with your complete opposite. That's when you have chaos. You're going to disagree, and you're going to have both sides fighting to, prove that their side is right. And you have just constant confusion versus getting with someone who you agree with, that foundation of submission. Okay. We agree, we're equal, we have, the same ideas, the same pursuits, there's no competition, then you have peace. Like, I don't know why it's so hard to grasp that concept. But no, I don't look for my opposite. When I start noticing things about myself and I value things about myself and I know that they are healthy and not destructive, I look for, or when a brother approaches me and we talk, and I start asking those initial questions, getting that vibe, it's like, is this conflicting what I'm going through or what I'm doing, or am I conflicting with what he has going on? But you always want to find your equal. um then Angela Freeman goes more into like different things that we kind of weren't taught. I'm around a lot of people, and especially when I was in patrol on the civilian side, I would meet or be in a lot of different scenarios in a small amount of time. I'll go from a domestic disturbance to this to that to that. So I got to like see and watch and observe a lot of different environments. And one thing that was, I won't say it was common, but or it plays a part really. But a lot of times when I would go to like a domestic disturbance or something, the house was kind of chaotic, and it would be like the worst of the worst I would go to was like the inside of this house was dirtier than it was outside. Like you come in the house, it's cigarette butts on the floor. You see the garbage running over with flaming hot Cheetos and pops, and it's nothing healthy going on in there. Like that's not a place of peace. So one thing she really stresses over is how to keep a home. And I know we probably heard that from our grandmothers and stuff like that on how to keep a home and housekeeping and things like that. And I try to incorporate that in, well, not really try, but I strive to get better and better at that, in my own home where my house is peace. And I learned the meaning of peace when, I would have a day full of chaos. It could be I started my shift off responding to a deceased person, had to go and get into a fight, take somebody to jail, had to go to court for a little bit, had to go do some with truancy, had to take care of shoplifting, had an auto accident with injuries, had to go on a foot pursuit, and you have fleas on your uniform, you paranoid about bed bugs, and you have crappy supervisors who are bigots, then you come home, you think about like, shit, I didn't make enough money for all this. But then when you come home, it's like, in my home, I wanted to where I spend my whole day watching over my shoulder. I spend my whole day thinking like, okay, I may die in the next minute. This may happen. But when I get home, it's like, wow, okay, I made it. I need to enjoy this hot shower for a second longer. I need to, play this video game with my son for another 30 minutes. I need to ensure my house is clean because if something did happen to me, everybody come to your house and they'll see all your stuff and how you really lived, okay? But it makes you appreciate that peace. When I'm home, I can actually relax. Yeah, there are different threats that may happen in the home, but I'm actually safe. And I stress over peace in my home. I don't want yelling. I don't want a lot of noise. I don't like it dirty. I don't want it to smell bad. I just want peace and I want it full of love. And she stresses over that with keeping a home. At the home, she even has recipes in here, although a lot of them are not strictly vegan, but she has a different mix of tried and true homemade recipes. As you see on my channel, I've gotten more into cooking because women, we should know how to cook. Like, I'll do a review on another book that I have, and this book was like a gem. Shout out to the brother that gave it to me. I'm like so happy I'll share that book with you soon. Our rightful place, we are the healers, we are the root doctors, the witch doctors, the hoodoo women. That's not a bad word, it really isn't, because we knew how to heal from what was around us. Even if it was like a placebo effect, we still gave something so that that person's mind and in their mind and their own power, they can heal themselves. That was our job. And I get really upset because I get upset when I see mothers and they keep running their children to the hospital. Like when my son was first born, you know how when you put them in daycare, they start getting sick, they have a fever, they get the cold. So you like thinking your baby is like something bad is going to happen to them. Shout out to the nurse who said, stop bringing your baby to this hospital. It's nasty. You have people here who have AIDS, who have, she was saying this stuff called shingles. Stop coming here with that baby. You keep him at home. And when she told me that, it clicked. I'm like, okay, it's just a cold. He gon' go and get through this. So when I see different people, on Facebook, just oh, my child's sick, oh, I'm at the hospital for this, and they see, you see them marking at the hospital, like, for what? So and so has a fever. So they gonna be all right, especially right now with this whole coronavirus going on. The safest place to be is at home, really. But we have so much power that we just haven't tapped into, and society has just made us ignorant because there's profit in our ignorance. Um, like I said, her chapter, it goes like chapter by chapter where she kind of breaks it down, but it flows so well. She gives some insight on the struggles that a black man has to go through on the daily, and his struggles are unique because he is a unique man. We are the original people, and it's not like I said, people, oh, Tieesha being this, whatever. It's proven, it's science. Okay, go look up the first humans in Ethiopia. I'm just saying. So it talks about the importance of knowing his struggles, having that empathy as a woman. I notice at times, men kind of sort of don't. I'm not saying they don't, but with us, our empathy is stronger. With my son, I can kind of sense when it was time to feed him, sense with a diaper change, stuff like that, and dads got like they have to smell them, have to smell them, or there's something to get their attention to result in action. But for us, it's kind of we feel what that child is going through, so we react a certain way. So therefore, when it comes to our equal, our man, we have to be empathetic to him because the rest of the world won't. And I noticed that because it could be something happening. Like I said, I work majority around men, and I work around males. I'll take that back. I work around males, and at times it shocks me because I'm like, these mother jokers have the nerve to have wives and daughters, but they be the most insensitive mother jokers that I've ever came in contact with. I'm like, wow, wow, it's mind blowing. But your black man, he is unique, and you're supposed to be there and take care of him, and also the black men that you birth. You are birthing somebody else's husband, somebody else's father, so you have to treat them accordingly. So you're not pushing dysfunction through your body. Okay, and when you start holding yourself as a good black woman and really doing that self-evaluation, you'll begin to like your self-respect would increase. It really will. Like I said, what you do for yourself, you'll get an immediate return on your investment. You will see, like I say, tangibles 2020. You'll see the forever tangibles of investing in yourself. For instance, like I said, self-respect, you'll know who to give attention to and who not to give attention to. I had someone ask me about they're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you get a bunch of attention and things like that. I'm like, yeah, I do, but I take quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's just because I value myself and I don't make myself available to everybody. It's like, I don't know. I can't explain it, but you invest in yourself and you won't let anybody diminish your value or take away from it. And when you have that self-respect, you in turn gain self-control where you're not searching to fill a void. You're not cheapening yourself for, company or a warm body or, intangibles. Uh it was something that was going on a little while ago, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. It was something I'm like, I don't want to go there because I just didn't see myself fitting in, and you will no longer try to fit in to circles that you don't belong in. You just kind of do your own thing and embrace your uniqueness. And like I said, you'll have less confusion. I know some people like, yeah, I got to go find myself, or I'm searching. What you looking for? Go look in the mirror and see yourself. Searching for your purpose, really. And some women would, or some females would get mad at me when I say, like, look, if you're looking for your purpose, just get booty butt cheeks naked and go stand in the mirror, and it's right there in front of your face. What are you searching for? And society thrives on you being confused, being, ignorant to certain things. Now, call nobody ignorant. It's difference between ignorant and stupid. Some people can be both. But when you just don't know any better, you're going to keep searching for superficial things to feel validated, which you're going to feel even worse at the end. You just have to dig deep within yourself and start, appreciating and developing yourself. So, let's see who is all in here. We have Black Women's History Month. When is that? It's right now, and it's whenever I say this. Like they said, it's Women's Month. I say it's Black Women's Month. God damn it, because I'm black every damn day. Okay. Where are we at? We have Air from BA. True, our house is peace. A great relationship is when the black man and woman complement each other. That's it. That's exactly it. Forever King. That is it. Daryl, how are you doing? Kenya, I really hate to see that. Also give babies cow's milk. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Since, reading God's gift, it has just opened up my mind to keep learning. At first, before that, I was, if unless it was outside of like, training, like college or police training or military training, Zane books, just stupid stuff like that. I think the only intelligent book I read before, while going through all that, was The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. I love the hell out that book. And it really, that started planting the seeds for femininity for me. But we'll talk about the book on a different day. But yeah, you'll start learning like what is poison to you, how you are feeding the demise of your family, your community, all that. It really points out these things. One thing it goes to is talking about healing the family. That is chapter 8, as you were saying, the cow's milk and stuff. And it really, encourages us to where you really take that control. Like I said, we are the root doctors, the root woman, the witch doctors, the hoodoo women. And all that means is that you just know how to use herbs to heal yourself. When you see like what was it? Right now the craze is black seed oil and elderberry oil or elderberries. That's the craze. But remember, it's always a different something each year. And before that, it was like, what was it? Acai bowls. Before that, they was, riding the wave of what, quinoa. It's something different every year. But all it is recycled, knowledge that we brought from Africa over here with us, and what we already knew that just spread around the world. And that's all it is. It's just recycled. But, they want to think it's always the new thing. We've been doing this. And she gives remedies like natural remedies for what was it, menstrual relief, nausea, toothaches, acne, and blemishes. I've actually been using that. She was saying I'm doing the what is it, the spicy ginger drink. I've been doing that, and also tea. I've been getting my teas on every day because, like I said, the restaurant food that I was eating on the road, yeah, had me breaking all out. So it's true. When you start taking care of yourself and you heal yourself in your kitchen, you'll see, the immediate positive results. She even gives natural remedies for men's wellness. And okay, it's important to not devalue yourself when it comes to a marriage, when it comes to being married. Like I said, you're equal. So what you do is equally important to the progression and the betterment of your family. So I noticed, when I was married, I'm like, wow, I have like a whole bunch of jobs now. I am a chef. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing hair. It was like almost everything I learned, like I went to, tech school or something for, I was doing it in the house. You know, cosmetology and spa services, cooking, being a psychologist, therapist, teacher, because you come home and teach. That's when I got really involved with teaching. I'm like, okay, yeah, just thinking that sending your children to school for all these hours to actually learning something. No, they're learning absolutely nothing, and it's up to you when they come home to teach them. Or if not, you just sending zombies out into the world, and they'll be like you and me, having to unlearn and relearn. Shout out to brother Derek Grace out of Tampa. Unlearn and relearn. And now I'm happy because I have a community down here. I can finally get some people to play my in-home banking game with. So hey, if y'all are around the Atlanta area, let me know and we can go ahead and open up this in-home banking. That's what's up. I'm so happy now. Yes. Then what I have on my list. I don't spoil too much of the book. You may ask, what's in it for me? Tieesha, I'll go out and get this book. What's in it for me? Instead of being another book, and y'all this whole, Black Power stuff and blah, blah, blah. What's in it for me? And what's in it for you is you will hold yourself to a higher standard. You increase your value. Like I said, I've been saying this all night. You receive a return on your investment in yourself, your relationships, your family, your career goals. And like I said, you'll value yourself. You will not put yourself in situations that cheapen you. If you notice, like I said, I was married, and I noticed in that situation, it was diminishing my value because I was being a strong woman to a not so strong Black male. It wasn't balanced. It wasn't supposed to happen. So I'm happy that I was able to see that in myself and not stay and continue beating myself up and self-destructing. Also, with crappy places. Y'all saw I just left coronavirus ass Washington, got the hell up out of there. I had a really garbage job up there, but you'll see different situations for what they were. That really garbage job I had, that was strictly survival. I had no loyalty to that. I did not cheapen myself just for a spot on the plantation. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna, stand firm in who I am as a Black woman. Yeah, I know I'm behind enemy lines, but God darn it, I know my value, I know my worth, and I'm gonna shake the spot when it's my time. And I got the hell on up out of there. But ultimately, it showed my value was that, hey, I am worth more than just what somebody else, offers in a salary. Therefore, I began to invest in myself. I began to get around other sisters and brothers and supporters who see the value in me, who also, are investing in me. So therefore, I have to provide a return on that investment. So you start seeing yourself as having more value, and you live up to that, and your life is more fulfilled. Shout out to Kathy, as you guys saw a couple of weeks ago, my first Saturday here, my first weekend here. She's like, look, she actually planned this before I even started driving here. She's like, look, we're getting together on this day. You're going to meet your Atlanta womb sisters, and just all of us getting together. Each of us, we have something going on that directly benefits not only ourselves, our family, but our communities as a whole. And it was just so beautiful to be in a room, with that, when before, if I was still in that, that brain dead zombie mind, well, if y'all ain't talking about the turn up and going to the club, I don't want to be around y'all, just stupid stuff. But you see how you improve by, investing in yourself. You see things what they are, and you respond accordingly. I know that, yes, many times pretty much my whole adult life, I've worked in male dominated environments. And I know that men are tend to act logically. As a woman, I'm kind of emotional driven. Where with the men, they need to see evidence. It needs to be like right there in their face, like happening toward there, and they'll respond to it. I know with me, I'm like thinking 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. And so I'm more going off my emotions and that. So when I know, I'll say, I see things for what they are. I've learned to not react so much on emotion, but to be more rational. But I'm still maintaining my spiritual awareness as a woman. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not praying on my knees to for the Lord to get rid of it. It's me. I embrace it. I just fine tune it, and I make sure that it's in harmony with my surroundings. Let me see what comments we have. That's a great book, Right Heal Ourselves. Speak on it. How was meeting our Kathy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know that she just moved to what is it? To Gambia. She now lives in Africa. Yeah, so it was just so powerful that her last weekend here was my first weekend here. And okay, this is how it happened. Like I was just so just amped as I'm driving to Delore Spa in Atlanta. Black owned for 14 years. So I'm pulling up. I'm like, hey, I'm here. And so I'm pulling up, I'm walking in the building, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like I didn't know rather when I saw her, how to act. Cause it's like when you like meet your just celebrity, your idol, your star. And I'm walking in there and I'm getting close. Another sister, she had got there at the same time. We didn't know each other because I didn't recognize her from her profile. But I'm like, she looked just like I just was just somewhere. So we walk into the room. There's art right there. And it's like I had to tell myself I'm not looking through, Facebook Live and see her. Like she's right there. I could touch her, hug her, everything. The energy was just so great. Like all of us, we were in one room. And with me, I just knew everybody based on Facebook. Never met any of my sisters in person. I knew them from their posts, things like that, but never like, hey, you're right there. And that's one thing that I'm getting adjusted to because I lived in, a kind of an isolation so much when, I lived in Virginia. I met the family out there, but when I went to Hawaii, that's when I really started this metamorphosis. So everybody I knew was based on a phone call, messenger phone call, or Facebook Live, or YouTube. So to actually, be there was just I can't describe it. We had a great day. One of the sisters, Valerie, she makes tea. I will be putting more of her products and talking more about her and getting together with her. But she actually presented this spread for us and we made our own tea, and that's what we can do to start to heal ourselves. So shout out to Valerie. She watched this. I'm be spamming all my platforms with her information. We made tea, we talked, we just shared, we just loved on art because we were all connected because of her. And she's just so real, so valuable. And pretty much, okay, her birthday is December 3rd, I'm December 1st. But what she went through in life is like, has she been spying on me? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like everything that she has experienced and made it through, I went through it as well. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really crazy. But I hope sharing that and being this example. I had a couple of sisters on my Facebook page like, hey, we need to do this in our hometown and get together. So I hope that this has inspired other sisters to get together, brothers too, brothers. I don't know what to call you. Like I don't know, like we're womb sisters. I don't know if y'all like testicle teammates. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Y'all figure it out. But brothers, get together, have that united front. Definitely connect with like-minded brothers and just build each other up because y'all are equals. Our brothers, our sons, all that. And one thing that I noticed once I began to incorporate, just being a good Black woman, you'll notice, like I said, the quality of people you attract to you. I know there was a video shared of a woman. She got spit. A sister got spit on by a bus driver, and the community responded. Now, when you start becoming a good Black woman and not just a basic female, a thought, or a wifey, brothers will respond accordingly. Like you will no longer be a liability. And what I mean by a liability, you may not be attracting the strong Black man to you because you are a liability. Maybe you're just reckless, with finances to where, let's be honest. The average Black person makes around, I'll be generous to say like $50,000. So that comes out to what? Don't laugh at my math. They'll be like what, like $1,800 to $1,900 a paycheck. twice a month. Let's say on the 1st and the 15th. Let's say, like, don't laugh at my math, okay? I went to Cincinnati Public Schools. Do not judge me. So if a paycheck coming home is about $1,900, an average mortgage about 1,000. But let's say you got a habit where you got to spend at least 300 on your hair. You want to stay home. The kids are in daycare. You won't cook, and it's like fast food every day. You kind of working for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you're a liability. So once you start looking and reevaluate yourself, and I'm not saying you shouldn't work. I'm just saying that I've gotten to a point where I've put my blood, sweat, and tears in, and I'm doing my best to, just become self-sufficient. I've done it all from, tear up my body in the military, file EO complaints, file grievances, work shoulder to shoulder with biggest people that don't fucking like you, got my ass kicked on the sidewalk. I'm like, you know what? It's about time to work at home. I'm kind of over it. But yeah, you start reevaluating things. Like maybe you don't like I said, the coronavirus was saying that coronavirus is threatening hair weave. So you may be like, look, I'm gonna just go ahead and rock my own hair for free. You might say, look, I'm not gonna wear somebody else's name on my purse. I'm gonna just get this no-name brand purse, and the couple hundred I'll spend for this purse, I'll, buy some stock in Michael Kors and put the rest of it in my purse, or let it grow interest somewhere, or take this money, get some inventory, flip in, and keep doing it. And you build for yourself. So then, like I said, you'll see a return on your investment. Therefore, you'll get with a brother that also invests in you when y'all invest in a vision versus being a liability. This one right here is a touchy topic. It's very touchy, where we'll say, I can wear whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I have the right to do what I want. You absolutely do. But I always put out, sisters, we got to be a hard target. And because, I'm a single woman, so I can't take a lot of chances, because I'm usually, it's me and one of my boyfriends that I can put a magazine and some rounds in to defend myself, so I can't take, reckless chances, such as, like, let's say, a lot of times it'll be something where I want to cuss somebody out about, or, just, I don't know, just act real reality TV-ish. But what is that going to do? It's going to get you your ass kicked in the parking lot, might go to jail, a race soldier might get you, or, you just present yourself as a liability. So you just have to, just make some wiser choices. So then if you are wronged or something like that, and, you're legit, it's like I said, it's so touchy. I don't have the words, and I don't want to say something, somebody get offended, get mad, and I gotta, like, try to clean up what I said because somebody took it out of context. But I'm just saying, once you put value in yourself, you won't be a liability, and you'll have that quality brother that, takes I don't say take a chance, but just invest in you, and, won't see himself and what he worked for as being compromised over one mistake, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, hope that makes sense. What are you saying? She attracts her tribe. Put your name on it, purse. Hell yeah. Like I said, my brand's Tymonics. That's my name. My wedding business, Tyler Out with Tieesha. I put my name on. I used to be ashamed of my name, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just Tieesha, goddammit. And it's gonna be that, okay? Look forward to receiving what you put out. Absolutely. Yes. Like I was saying, what's in it for me? Like I said, you will develop skills, qualities. You will become admirable, desirable, traits that attract higher quality people and opportunity. Your circles, and plus, femininity is contagious. It really is contagious. Art Kathy, just watching her being unapologetic. Like, a lot of things that I'm kind of like ashamed of myself with at times, like, Tieesha, or other people make me feel ashamed, okay? But, as I said, we are evolving, like Art said. Thank the ancestors and thank the universe for evolution. Because, like I said, I used to be dusty. I used to be real dusty. I used to be a dusty system. it's contagious. I noticed my sister Shauna, if you watch our sister's video, I try to be like her because she has a way of being upset and getting mad, but she don't have the sailor isms like I do. You know, when I got out the Navy, I kept my sailor vocabulary. I'm not proud of it, but it's still there. And I know I have to clean that up and things like that. But of course, when I'm doing something professional, I'm not potty mouthing at all. Even when I do say a couple of bad words because I feel passionate about stuff, but it's just not. I just come out and say it just for the heck of it. Okay, so I'm working on that too. But femininity is contagious. Like I said, with art, I fed off of her. This woman on Facebook Live in a bikini. At the time, I lived in Hawaii, and I'm like, man, I need to get like her. But when you're putting out those feminine vibes, I make it a point wherever I go. I'm so happy to be here in Georgia and see other Black people. I compliment everyone I come in contact with. If I see a pretty color purple on somebody, I'm going to go give them a compliment. Like, I love it. I love the heck out of being here. Like, I can have a small talk conversation with anybody. Everybody give you a compliment. You make eye contact. They speak. I've had nothing but just pleasurable experiences here and great contact with people. And it's just contagious. When you are feminine and you're secure in yourself, you can uplift somebody else. That's what I meant by it being contagious. So let's check the compliments. Your name is beautiful. Thank you. Spread on it. Yes, asset versus liability. Absolutely. And you notice, like, I don't get into many arguments. I really don't. Um, if a brother says something that I kind of don't agree with, I kind of see his side. As long as he's not disrespecting me or bashing me or disrespecting the community as a whole or anything like that, or abusing children, I'm not on that. I kind of, I try to see where he's coming from, but you have their respect. Like, I'm not going to argue with my brothers and sisters on a public forum. Now, if I see some skin folk that's just being skin folk and acting out of pocket, I'm gonna call them on it like I did in the previous. Was it the previous video? No, the one before about the church in Alabama. Had to call them on it. That's not right. It really isn't. I don't even want to get back into that one. But I want to go into this next part and just shout out some great couples that I see on the daily, and they really inspire me and are really, important in kind of shaping who I'm striving to be. And like I said, I'm a single woman, so I'm not being a good woman to bae or the boo thing or, stuff like that. I'm just cooling for me. And it's not like I'm putting on the front. And that's a big difference too, because I noticed that a lot of sisters and brothers, they want to start acting right in a relationship, but it's not their habit. And that's where a lot of conflict come from. They'll say that men are looking for a woman who won't change, but women are looking for a man that they can change. No, if you just be yourself, just natural on a daily, on a regular, and someone really falls for you for who you are, you don't have to put on the front. You don't have to be who they want you to be. You don't have to, psych yourself out. Like, look, it's just me. And you're living in your purpose and you're both doing what you're supposed to do. But one of the couples that, really have been setting an example, and they are youngins, like they are younger than me. But it's my cousins, Des and Brittany. If you go over on Facebook, it's Des, Essex, and Brittany. And I didn't even know. Well, I remember seeing Des on my first Facebook page. But here's how I found out about my cousins. This is so funny. I was living in Hawaii, and I was a part of a marriage group where we would get together on the weekends at a different couple's house, and we'll like play games like was it Taboo, Cards Against Humanity, and just chill, just have couples time. So when I got there, Crystal, shouts out to Crystal Patterson. She was like, "Hey, I noticed that your last name is Essex. Well, I have a brother that's coming over. I pretty much raised him in Alabama. Our family was like so close together. Y'all might be related." I'm like, okay. When Daz came through the freaking door, brother like a shorter version of my little brother. I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta be related. So we started talking, found out we are related, lived on the island, didn't even know each other, you know. So thank goodness for like Facebook just keep helping me find my family. But Des and Brittany, they are so soft spoken to each other. Yes, that's something I always was like, you don't even know that they're talking. They'll sit next to each other and have a full out conversation. You'll never hear it because they speak to each other just so soft and such in a gentle manner. I love it. And when I see them on social media, Des, he's posting, you know, he does he has his own interests, and Brittany has her own as well. They now have a daughter, and he constantly, you know, just confesses his love for her, his respect, his, you know, his promise to protect his family, to, you know, guide them, all that. And this is a young brother, you know, and they're just solid, you know. I love them so much. And when when their daughter came, Brittany named, she actually named their daughter, and named their daughter after, you know, my cousin Des, his mother, AV Essex. So if you're in, where's she at? She's in what, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. If you were looking for a hairstylist, you need to call up AV Essex out of there. But they named their daughter after her, and that just goes to show, you know, a great mother that sets an example. Because usually we hear about the mother-in-law not getting along with the wife and messing up their marriage, but no, like it's so solid that look, they named their daughter after her mother, his mother, and it was just beautiful. Another couple that I really love, that, you know, like I said, I love the show Wife Swap. I watched that show, been watching it for years. And like I said, I always love Muhammad Ali. You know, I grew up right on the Ohio River. Check out my video where I drove through Louisville, Kentucky. I visited his childhood home and his final resting place. Layla Ali is my girl. I loved her for years. Oh my gosh, since I was freaking in high school. And to, you know, have a career, you know, that some would say is masculine, like you get in a ring and beat the dog crap out of somebody. That can be considered very masculine. However, she maintains her femininity where she's not, you know, just trying to be a dude. She's a wife, a mother, a businesswoman, an athlete, professional. She's all all over I won't say all over the place, but she kind of is. She's over here, she has her cooking. When you watch her on Instagram, she's in her kitchen cooking. She has her seasoning blend. She has her hair products. My mom, she said, hey, I have a Layla Ali hair dryer, because I always talk about her. So my mom, she has a Layla Ali hair dryer. um You'll see her on Wife Swap, The Masked Singer, just all over. And I just love her so much. But she's always putting her family first, you know, and she's still a businesswoman. And I love her and her husband, because in Wife Swap, she talked about how she has bonus children as well. But, you know, it's peaceful. She respects her husband's children as well as their children together. And that's a chapter here in How to Be in God's Gift. It talks about, you know, if your husband has, you know, previous children, you know, you respect them, you treat them as your own, you don't make them feel uncomfortable. She even talks about, you know, um meeting the mother of his children. I mean, like, heck, if y'all are married, y'all gonna all be, you know, part of a big family anyway. So get that knocked out as soon as possible. Establish respect for each other, but don't feed into, you know, what she wants to say to break y'all up and stuff like that. You know, you just respect that he's maintaining, you know, both sides of his family, but together y'all are all a family. And I ain't getting into that whole sister wives thing tonight. That ain't that ain't tonight, okay? That's some other stuff. All right, but yeah, you respect his children. You love his children, because if you love him, you know, part of him is in his children. You know, love them, respect them, And if you love them, you'll also respect their mother, but also too, she has to respect you too. Like these are things that you establish in the beginning. Like, can you live with this? Is it healthy for you? You know, you got to think about all that stuff. Like, as I was saying, you're not being, you know, a good wifey to Bay and his baby mamas. You're not doing that, okay? You're being a good black woman to a strong black man. Another one of my favorites. You saw them here on my channel. We talked about the A-Duts, Melvin and Danae. I hope that they are watching, or they probably will watch it later. Live. Leilani is a great brand, very smart. I love your products. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, with the move, I will be getting, you know, all of my Timonic stuff all together. Like it's been a great time to de-stress and just get into my thoughts. And like I said, just being here has just given me my mojo back. I'm really happy. I'm tired as hell, but I'm really happy and I got my mojo back. So I'm really driven. I have a great support system. Everybody here, you know, support. I'm really happy. Just words of encouragement. You place an order. The website is kind of janky right now, but we're gonna get that together. But thank you so much. And then another one, like I said, Melvin and Danae. You saw them on the A-Duts video I did on here. But I went to San Diego last September, and Melvin and Danae had drove down from LA to San Diego, and we spent my last day there together. And let me tell you about this. So I get to the park because we had agreed to meet, I think it's like San Diego Park. So I parked my rental car and then I rode with them and we went to a vegan restaurant. So we're in the car, we're talking, you know, we're just like, hey, like again, hey, like I see y'all through the phone or through the computer or through the TV, but I can actually touch y'all and, you know, see y'all now. We pull up to the parking lot and we're at the restaurant. So I'm in the back seat, of course. So Melvin parks and then he hops out. And I'm like, hey, hop out too. And I noticed Danae stayed in. I was like, for a split second, I'm like, oh, her door don't work. But I'm like, no, she got the car and saw me. No, Danae stayed in. Melvin gets out of the car. He ensures that there are no dangers and no threats around. And when he makes that determination, he goes and gets his queen out of the passenger seat, opens up her door. She steps out. She has her purse. She fixes her dress. She tells him thank you, gives him a peck on the cheek. He closes her door, and we go in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this in person. Like, of course, you'll see it in the video or you'll imagine it. But I'm like, wow, this is happening like right before my eyes. I was so stunned. I'm like, oh wow. So then when we come out, well, we had this whole conversation. Melvin and with this whole conversation in the restaurant, and it just gave me just a new life. It really did. Like, they are God's gift. You know, the strong black one, the strong black man and his good black woman. That's them, okay? Oh my gosh. So we come out of the restaurant and I'm like, no, I gotta record this. It's like, this is just magical. Because everything that we saw online, it wasn't just for doing it for the gram or doing it for the likes. They live this, you know. Even down to, you know, sitting there eating our food, he constantly checked on her. She thanked him. He operated in his role as black man in his masculine. She operated as black woman in her divine femininity. And it was just so balanced. And then it caused me to check some things. I mean, like I said, I've worked around men and things like that. It caused me to check some masculine traits that I had. You know, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna jump out the car. Melvin was super sweet when we left. He opened up both of our doors, and like I said, it really made me, you know, evaluate myself. And I'm like, I may have these masculine things that may, you know, turn off a good black man. So, you know, it caused me to like kind of, you know, self-evaluate. But yeah, you know, I'm a single woman, but I have to, you know, just, you know, live, but also, you know, have to also operate within my realm, which was so beautiful. So I learned so much from them. Shout out to Melvin and Danae. You can find them on Facebook. They're on Instagram, Mel the Thinker and D Wright. You'll see them on Instagram. Love them so much. You love them so much. And then like I said, they're also self-spoken. Their beliefs, They agree on food. Oh my gosh, if you want vegan recipes, you need to follow Danae and Melvin over on Instagram. Danae, she made some breaded chicken tenders using mushrooms. Yeah. It's just that serious. They're operating in their elements, soft spoken and balanced. And listen, we can't afford to feed into white supremacy, and that's what it is. Like, I can sit here and make videos on the latest skin folk just acting a fool and getting a lot of views and all that, but why give them space to further destroy me and my people? I'm not. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to, you know, invest and use my time and use your time. Like, this is not my time. You taking time out of your life that you'll never get back to watch my channel, to listen to me, to interact with me. I just hope that I'm giving you value and uplifting you and using this space to be something different than what you see on the mainstream. I don't want to say a bad word, on mainstream media, okay? We see enough of that. We go through that every day of people destroying us, tearing us down, wanting to eliminate us. We need a space and we need more of us. And like I said, Angela Freeman, United Front, Neely Fuller Jr., the supporters on here, Latifah, Eddie, Daryl, Kareem, everybody. What's the other one? That nigga Pookie Jenkins. Art, Kathy, everybody else who was just TBA, Tariq, everybody just like investing in me, to get me here like six years ago. I'll find a picture. I think I have a picture on my tablet. I'm just a brain dead zombie, like I can't take all this credit. So just want to use the space to reinvest back into us. So then coming up on the end of this, my tips so this information can be completely new to you. Don't be ashamed. There's we have strengths, we have our weaknesses, but like Art said, we have a sisterhood, where you are your sister's keeper. I did a whole video just talking about her and just really celebrate her, and we have more sisters like that. We just have to build each other up. I could not imagine sitting here and talking about like getting a group of females together and we're gonna go fight this chick because she's supposedly sleeping with my man, or just something like, it's like, no. We have to close ranks and really support each other, and really be invested in the well-being of your sister, having better families, protecting our families. It takes a lot to get me mad. Like, I was just mad at my printer, and then it's like a thunderstorm, but I'm like, Tieesha, okay, really just calm down, okay? You'll get the stuff done. Do your video. The internet will figure itself out. You'll be all right. And as we see, we've been on here for an hour and 12 minutes. Mobile service is doing me real good right now. But yeah, as I was saying, my tips. Learn to cook. Learn to cook. Like I said, we are struggling. We are really struggling when it comes to our health. The past couple of years have been really revealing to me. My grandmother, I talked about this. Shout out to everybody who was there with me, with my grandmother. She is still here. This will be her 80th birthday this year. But that's the strongest woman I know. That's the strongest woman I know. She had both legs amputated within a matter of like 6 to 8 months. She did that, and I never saw her cry. Then right behind her is my sister Shauna. My sister Shauna, she's at the nursing home with her and taking care of her, feeding her, grooming her, and it just showed me like the power that we possess as women. We are strong, so the book said be a good woman, but we equally have our strengths, okay? We equally do. And but yeah, taking care of our health, and it comes from our kitchens. I'm so happy to be here in Georgia. I'm not happy because I don't have a balcony, so I'm like, dang it, I want to grow some food. But my grandmother, she grew aloe all over her apartment. She had butter bowls. You'll see a bowl of country crock with some soil and some aloe plants coming out of it. My grandma had the most perfect. She has the most perfect skin, just beautiful. So I'm like, I can't say I can't do this. I just have to find another way to do it. But with our food, my grandmother lived in the hood. She didn't have a car, so she created. I remember she made a pizza for us after school. She had some foil in the oven. She rolled out some dough, had some pizza sauce on it. She put some Jimmy Dean sausage on it and stuff, but she made us a pizza, in her kitchen. And I think about her when I go to cook. I think about my great grandmother. They also didn't have a car, but she cooked for us. She'd be in there cleaning greens and sipping her coffee, and things like that. So I'm like, you know what? Just keep it up. Be in that kitchen. When you feed your family, they stop craving other people's food. I remember hearing the older women say when I was younger, if you don't feed your man, he gonna go eat at somebody else's house, and you'll lose your man. I'm not saying that's the total way to keep a man, but I'm just saying you have to feed them. Like we take care of them, brothers. They don't want to go to the doctor. All like that. We help heal and nourish our families. So that's our job. So try to secure like 15 meals. And that's from, if you can grow some of it. I showed you how to grow wheatgrass on the counter. I'm going to start my herb garden pretty soon. I'm not saying those kind of herbs, because it's just to take drug tests and I ain't on that. But yeah, like, basil, like cooking with fresh rosemary, basil, dill weed, stuff like that. You can just grow all that yourself. Your aloe, your wheatgrass, things like that. Okay. And you can find different recipes, hell, books, magazines, the library. You can go and rent books or get books from there. You go to the thrift store like I do. You can look at people's videos on Facebook, right here on YouTube, Pinterest. You can even get quick recipes on TikTok, and you can watch they can make a whole meal in like 90 seconds or less on TikTok. Shout out to Mrs. DePenda. I met her in San Diego. Check her out on Instagram, Mrs. DePenda, like Dependopotamus, but Dependa, Navy white. She's super cool. Your wardrobe, okay? One thing that I had to throw away, that was thrown away from the time I lived in Hawaii up until before I came here, just going through my clothes. Man, I'm like, why did I go about all these ugly dresses? These I call them come get me dresses. I used to wear to the club and stuff. At Body Central. Body Central has some cute clothes, I will admit. But I'm like, why did I buy this? And some of those I did wear. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Tieesha, no. But yeah, go through your wardrobe, get some staples, get some things that accent your body, that put out the message you want to put out, because you can't be like, you be out here talking reckless. All these beep beeps want is sex. Well, if that's what you advertising, that's what they gonna buy from you. So you gotta ponder. But you can still be sex. Like I said earlier, I'm not saying like you can't wear what you want or things like that, but just ensure that what you wear gets the response that you want. And I'll go on a tangent with this. When I lived in Hawaii, I was working I worked a very short time at this spot. And so they were like, yeah, we have a dress code. And, island business dress is different from what I was used to, in the DMV area in Virginia and all that. Business dress over there was, you kind of dressed up like a FBI agent. You had the dark blazer, a white shirt, camisole, some pearls, some business slacks or a skirt, and some simple heels. Hawaii business dress for women, you wear a Hawaii dress, or you get you some real short cut off shorts, and you make sure that the fold of your butt cheek is kind of hanging out. And that's how you dress for business. And you wear what they call some slippers, some flip flops. But I'm like, hold on. You tell me it's a dress code and I dress like this because, that's the way I dress. But she up here, I can see her booty cheeks, oh, yeah, it varies. So, like I said, it may work for some people, but just know what works for you. Okay. And, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I'm not saying that people deserve violence or, to be violated by the way they dress. But I'm just saying, do what works for you. Like, one thing that I had to think about, how much I made myself a target. Like, okay, a group of us will go to the club. We got on these, uncomfortable ass rainbow shoes where we can't run or kick ass with. We all, liquored up. But then, we go on into this dark parking lot at like 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not wise. That I was making myself a liability. So you learn from that. You grow up. I'm gonna finish with the review. She has a review in the back of the book, and she also talks about the conclusion. But I'll leave that for you to read when you order it. So let me know if you're going to order this, and we can talk about this book even more and things and things like that. Freakum dress, yep, them come get me dresses, come get me heels. Like, if I was to buy that, it'll just be, for my husband out. You'll see my foot right here. I have on arch supports. Okay, I ain't wearing nobody's come get me heels. I'm wearing Crocs, and I have orthotics. So yeah, those shoes will make it here to the house, and they'll make it out the closet to the bedroom, and they'll never see the light of day. But at the end, we're talking about God's gift, how to be a good Black woman to a strong Black man, and this is for the upliftment and betterment of our families and securing our generations and promoting healthy relationships, healthy bonds, and just uplifting our people. Like I said, I've showed you 2 other books where the authors were talking to their communities. We're talking to ours, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We got to be unapologetic and selfish, okay? She does the review. In healthy relationships, men and women gladly serve each other. Women serve men by providing comfort in various ways. Men serve women through protection, security, and sustenance, among other things. Both roles are intertwined and equally necessary. Never be ashamed to be in service to your man. Devotion is a beautiful virtue. Men are happy as long as they have a clean home, peace and quiet, tasty food, and physical satisfaction. They have very simple desires, unlike us, because I'm complicated. But just be sure that those basics are covered. And it says many times we get into a relationship and stop pursuing our own interests and hobbies. This can make you quite dissatisfied with your life as well as cause you to be a bore. Continue to pursue your interests, study, and make time for yourself. You can't bring joy to your family if you're not fulfilled and happy within. Let everyone who enters your home feel the genuine love and contentment. Many times they may not have any of their own, and they're able to share yours is a blessing. Words have power, but so does silence. Everything doesn't have to require a response. You don't always have to have the last word. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Due to our history in this country, Black men crave respect more than any other group of people. Always show the utmost respect in conversations and always acknowledge that whatever he is saying is relevant and important. Never be afraid to admit you are wrong. Acknowledging wrong doesn't show weakness, it shows maturity and makes a man feel respected. And I'm just going to hit on the next, like the first sentence. Never argue in public. Never argue in front of guests. Avoid using emasculating words. Men and women are equal 100% in terms of their value and rights. There are ways to get your views and get your way at home. If you just sit around complaining about not being satisfied without doing anything to improve your conditions, you are not being lazy. Using sex as a weapon is a horrible idea. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And there's a lot more, but and she finishes, if your man refuses to make a solid commitment to you or abandons his family, you are not wrong to leave. Never let a man play around with you. He should either be all the way in or all the way out. He should not have the choice of being your man in his spare time. You are worth much more than that. And before I close, I wanted to say, just being a great woman, a great Black woman does not make you a pick me. I hear that term a lot, pick me. That's not what it means. Like I was saying, this book is called How to Be a good black woman to a strong black man, not being wifey to bae, not being, you know, boo to whatever it you, or being a good female to a, you know, a sometimes good man with potential. She never said anything about potential, you know, doing this for just any dude that pays you attention. None of that. Okay, like I said, you have your values and you live up to those, and you attract, you know, those who are deserving and higher quality. There's really no games. There's, you don't have to learn this game. You know, you don't have to, you know, manipulate this. You don't have to get $40 for that. You know, you're just being yourself, and you're just being honest up front. And that's pretty much it. I really love this book. Um, like I said, let me know if you pick this book up. Let me know, and leave her a great comment. Mine is on there from 2014, and I revisit this book every time, you know, I need to, or just need a boost. This is it for me. And she's, and if you look at the cover, she has a brother and a sister. Sister has on a wedding band. I'm pretty sure brother does somewhere in there. Okay. So like I said, it's not being wifey to bae or boo. It's, you know, you have, like you said, a committed relationship, and if you have a brother that's, you know, not fully committed to you and things like that, you can't change them. Don't beg them. You know, you need to do what you need to do, and don't get into too deep. Okay, where you have your life change for someone who doesn't want to invest in you. So that is it. We're at an hour and a half. Who we all have in here? One one pimp afro, love it, thank you, Forever King. Um, Kenny from Cali said, order so beautiful. We have to encourage each other. Absolutely, Forever King. It's no excuse or not how to cook. Everything is on YouTube. Vegan recipes. Yes. You know, I love fast food. I cook them at home because I'm sick of customer service, and I just couldn't find a black restaurant to support. And if, you know, it was anything else, you know, they gave me shitty customer service. I said, shitty, I'm sorry. Kareem, how are you, brother Kareem? We're waiting on your book. Love your music. Follow Kareem on Instagram and Facebook as well. I always have an inviting home. Home is where the peace should be. Where the peace, and also where the peace is, okay? And from VA, I just ordered the book. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to y'all for, you know, taking the time out of your life. And like I said, I hope I gave you some value today. If you have any other suggestions for Black Women's History Month, okay, let me know. If not, I'll be back next Wednesday. Same time. I won't be on CP time. I'll be 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I haven't quite decided what my topic will be, but I'm definitely going to incorporate some other books that uplift Black women. I also have some pre-recorded videos that I'll upload as well. And I just noticed that last year, that's when for Black Women's History Month, that's when I became Pam Grier. So I have an idea on who I want to become this month. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. It doesn't really have to be firearms related, just iconic, beautiful Black women. But I have someone in mind that I may become, and I may upload that video. Well, yeah, it won't be live. It'll just be uploaded for either the last day of this month or the last Wednesday. Because if my schedule changes, I won't be able to go live then. But I'll definitely just pre-record that video and upload it. I'll figure out this giveaway, and I'll post it on Instagram and Facebook, and also on the community tab for this channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, connect with me on my other social media platforms, and I will see you on the next video. Happy Black Women's History Month, but just happy Black 365, because that's what we are, okay? Well, we got an extra day this year, so what, 366? No, 360, yeah. Got an extra day. Set your clocks back. Set your clocks up next weekend, okay? Love y'all so much. I'm going to bed. Talk to y'all later.